Now I want to bring in Democratic Congressman Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. He serves on the Intelligence Committee, which will run the public impeachment hearings tomorrow. He's also on the Oversight and Reform Committee. Congressman, let's talk about this impeachment inquiry. What is your main goal starting tomorrow?
I think there are two goals. One is to lay out the evidence of this alleged scheme with regard to pressuring the Ukrainian government to basically investigate Donald Trump's political rivals for his domestic reelection efforts. And then secondly, to allow the American people to see for themselves these witnesses who've come forward to our committee, a parade of people who are apolitical career public servants whom I found very compelling, but now it's time for America to decide.
Do you have any means to stop the White House from moving the goalposts? Early on, when they were arguing against process, they said if Nancy Pelosi brings it to a vote, we'll provide documents. They didn't. It was if you make the testimony public, we'll comply. They're not.
That's right. I don't think that any type of process at this point is going to necessarily satisfy the other side. They're trying to deflect attention from the substance of the allegations, which are very serious. And namely, did the president abuse his office or extort the Ukrainian president to basically investigate his political rivals, leveraging military aid and other benefits that the Ukrainians receive from us?
People who are criticizing the impeachment, supporting the president, people like Hugh Hewitt have said, if Democrats won't call Hunter Biden to testify, this whole thing is a sham. Why don't you counter that and say, great, we'd like Jared Kushner and his family to testify. We still don't know who financed their failing 666 Fifth Avenue.
Right. I think that's exactly right. I mean, this could go on and on. This inquiry is narrowly focused on this particular pressure scheme. We learned about the July 25th phone call and the transcript, but it turns out that there's evidence of a months-long effort that started all the way from the spring of 2019 when the president of Ukraine was newly elected until as recently as early September. And so this is what we have to really look at in the next in these public hearings.
Behind closed doors, what's the rationale behind Mick Mulvaney not wanting to testify? He has said the president did nothing wrong. He agreed it was a perfect phone call. If he were in a position to defend and help the president's case, because there are so many witnesses that aren't, wouldn't he want to show up a la Corey Lewandowski?
I think that's right. I think that if he has evidence that would mitigate against the charges against the president, I think that he would show up. But in this particular case, he even made an admission. I think he blurted it out in candor the other day that there was a quid pro quo, namely that there would not be a resumption of military aid unless the Ukrainians investigated Trump's political rivals. And Trump has now ordered him not to cooperate, and so he's following those orders. But I just want to point out that is in such contrast to this parade of patriots, these career public servants who are coming forward, putting their careers on the line, often at expense of themselves, hiring their own lawyers to come in and to tell the truth out of conviction. I hope that these folks are able to tell their side of the story in a way that the American people find as compelling as I did. Hopefully the other side doesn't jump in with a lot of antics, but I'm hopeful that they're able to lay out their case.
All right, then, Congressman, thank you so much for joining me today. It's certainly going to be a busy day tomorrow. And for you at home, be sure to watch MSNBC's special coverage of the impeachment inquiry hearings, that begin right here at 9 a.m. Eastern.